So let's get started. So, hello everyone. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursdays, if some people say. Welcome back to another Agile Hive for Cloud review. My name is Jamel. I'm one of the Safe Lead experts here. And I have my colleague, Daniel Roller, who is our product owner. And welcome back. Add to your calendar our next public review, which will definitely be on December 7th of 2023. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. You can see all our updates, some events that we'll be attending, blog articles. You can also catch Cindy's role base on there as well too. So you can stay updated on future content that we are posting. You can also follow us at the YouTube channel, Agile Hive. And stay tuned for hopefully some upcoming videos that you guys would like to see. Some upcoming events that we would like to let you guys know that we will be attending. Next week, we will be in Harlem, Netherlands. I always want to say New York, but Harlem, Netherlands, for the RTE Summit by Gladwell. And that is a 2-day event. So if you are in Amsterdam, there is still tickets available, I believe. So you can definitely feel free and definitely meet us at our booth. We will also be at the Atlassian Presents Unleash event in December, which will also take place in Netherlands. This one will be in Amsterdam. February 6th and the 7th, we will be in New York City at the RTE Summit US by Gladwell as well. And then we'll be at the Technovate by Abano in February 22nd in Belgium. So if any of you guys are scattered out in this area or know anyone who is in the area that you think should attend, please feel free to let them know. We'd be more than welcome to meet them. So extending your 30-day free evaluation period, obviously, you can always reach out to us for help through our cyber Agile Hive Cloud help support desk. I believe Daniel manages it, but I will also be taking ownership and help managing that traffic that's coming in. We know that there's a lot of customers that are going to be migrating from VC to cloud. And we know that the 30-day trial is not enough time to evaluate the tool and then also send it over through procurement and all that jazz stuff. So if you do need more time, please feel free to reach out to us. We're more than welcome to support you with your Agile Hive Cloud evaluation. This mouse is sensitive. So now jumping into our products, updates, and demos. We are providing app updates on the app on a regular basis. So we've released 2 new versions since the last review. These updates are done automatically, so you don't need to do anything. So our next new version will be on Thursday. Hopefully, if not next Thursday, but then the following Thursday, because we will be attending an event. We might just keep adjusting it for the future as we get ready to go into the holidays, but please feel free to, again, raise a support ticket and ask any questions about pertaining to any features that you guys may have, and we'll be happy to assist you guys. And then now I'm going to pass the demo over to Daniel and let him take over to let you guys know what updates and improvements we've made since the last review.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Jamal. I will just take over the screen share so I can share my my demo site as well.
Perfect.
And I need to share the whole window for that. Yeah, let's just pray it's the correct one. Let's see. And yeah, that looks good. We had a couple of new features released. Unfortunately, there have been only two new releases over the last 4 weeks, which is not the number that we that we want to that we set ourselves as a goal. But there have been some preparations being made, especially for risks and for WSJF, that just took us a bit longer. And but it now enables us to push out new features even faster over the next few weeks. So I think it was a good trade-off. Those preparations have been, or it has been, the Agile Hive issue context for all safe-related information on any of the issues that you use with Agile Hive. I will get into more detail on that later, and I can even showcase the current status of that feature to you. Probably, some of you have already been using it, actually, because it's already live. So this was the foundation that we set from a technical perspective. It started as a workaround, and it turned out to be a pretty flexible way for us to display various custom fields and issue-specific information exactly where we need it. So this is like a very flexible feature that we will also keep expanding in the future. The first real feature, let's put it that way, that then made use of that foundation are the custom fields for issues of type risk. And those custom fields are probability, impact, exposure, and the same for residual probability, impact, and exposure. And we have already introduced custom fields for objectives with one of the previous versions. And the risk custom fields actually are a bit different, since we have calculated fields here, which are the exposure fields. They are being automatically calculated after you set the values for probability and impact. And then Agile Hive provides you with the resulting exposure based on your input. And this was not so easy to achieve in Jira Cloud, actually. We initially thought it's like basic stuff, calculate some fields, but turns out it's from a technical perspective quite difficult. But with our new Agile Hive issue context, we were able to resolve that issue and provide you with calculated exposure fields, just like in the on-prem version of Agile Hive. So for those of you who migrate from the on-prem version, the risk fields in Agile Hive Cloud are basically the same. They have the same behavior as the on-prem version. Another thing that we introduced with the Agile Hive issue context are fields for planned start and planned end date for issues on ART, large solution, and portfolio level. So for example, for features, for capabilities, portfolio epics, you can now set a start and planned end date from within the Jira issue. You don't have to go to the Agile Hive roadmap and drag and drop your issue to the correct position. You can just do that from within the issue view, and it's being reflected in the roadmap after you just set the new date. Another thing that we introduced as preparation for reports is issue link type mapping for risk and objective links. I think the issue link types for risk and objectives have been there for quite a while, but now you can do a mapping for them, just similar to the dependency link that Agile Hive uses for visualizing the colored lines in the roadmap and team board. A similar mapping is now available for risk and objective links, and we will make use of that information later with our reports. But we want to provide you with the opportunity to already use those links to configure your site, and that when the release day for reports is there, you can just start using them and don't have to configure anything in advance. So let's just take a look on our demo site to show you some of those features in a live system. So at first, I want to quickly show the issue link type mapping that I just mentioned. So previously, you only had the dependency issue link type mapping here. Now there are two more of those sections with risks and objectives. Agile Hive automatically detects the linked types that come with our product, but you are free to use any other link type that you already have in the system that you probably already use for this kind of connection, like is objective of or a risk is treated by another issue, for example. Those are the issue linking types that we implemented here, and the same applies for objectives. So this is simple stuff, I would say. The next thing is the planned start end date that you can now edit from within the issue view. That was requested several times already in the review and also in some of our demos that we have with prospects for Agile Hive Cloud. So this was a highly requested feature, and now it's available for all issues that can be planned in the roadmap view. So for example, if I just open up what's that, an enabler on the art level, then I can see here the new Agile Hive issue context, and the context automatically detects, okay, my current context is an enabler issue, so I need to display the fields that belong to an enabler, that are required with that issue type, or that are assigned with that issue type, which are the planned start and end date. And in the first iteration, those are two separate fields that you can fill here. We are already working on an improvement here to provide a date range picker with a start and end date in one date picker, like, you know, from potential like hotel booking sites or something like that, where you say, okay, this is the date where I arrive and where I depart. So this is, at the moment, those are individual dates. So for example, I can change the planned start date. And if I also edit the end date, and let's just, so in that case, this wouldn't be a valid input. So there's a validation check in place already. But it's not very user-friendly, I would say, that you need to set two individual dates independently from one another. So we are already working on that for the next iteration. And as soon as I close that overlay, the board will refresh, and my issue that I edited, and I don't know if anybody remembered which enabler it was. I think this one, actually. So the bar is much larger now, and it worked. Bottom line, it worked. You can try that out for yourself. The feature is already live, and if you have any feedback on that, please let us know. As already mentioned, we are already working on improvements for that, and we'd love to hear your feedback, and also include that in our future development process for that. The next thing that I want to show is, let me just go to the issue list real quick, is the risk custom fields. And let me just open up a random risk here. And as you can see, we have new custom fields added for risks, exposure, residual exposure. I pinned them, so they are more in the focus for me. Also probability, impact, residual probability, residual impact. And also for risks assigned PIs, this is the same custom field that we use for objectives to assign the risk with a PI that it was defined for. So basically this one already was there for longer, but is being used here again. So the special thing about risk custom fields is that we use them in our context. So this is the Agile Hive context that we just used for planning the enabler feature in the roadmap. But now the context detected that it's in a risk context, in a risk issue context. So it's displaying the set of risk fields instead of the roadmap planning fields for the enabler. So it's quite an intelligent object that we have here. And but for the risk custom fields to function properly, we need to also include the risk custom fields in the screen used for risks in that project. So it's a bit more complicated, and it might lead to some confusion with your users, because as you can see here, I have the custom fields added to my default details field section, and as well I have them in the Agile Hive issue context. For your users, basically, it doesn't really matter which field they edit. In the end, everything will be stored in Jira, so no data loss. The only issue might be that the automatic recalculation of the exposure fields won't work immediately when editing the fields in the default Jira section. There's currently no other way for us to do that. We are already in contact with Atlassian about it to provide a more user-friendly way, and we will keep you updated on that. But for now, we recommend editing risk fields in the Agile Hive context, because if I do that, and you can, for example, do it right now, you can see it's being recalculated here, and also the exposure field in the general Jira custom field section is being updated as well in real time. So this is the big advantage of using the Agile Hive issue context here, and not only going with default custom fields. Because with default custom fields, it's not updating in real time, as you can see. So this is risk custom fields. All of that information will later be used and included in the reports. And yeah, that's basically it for now. We have some bugs fixed as well, so you can refer to the changelog to get more information on that. We will also be adding more documentation on all of the new features over time. But at the moment, we are very focused on pushing out features and working our way towards reports. So yeah, but in case you have any questions, any issues, please reach out via the help desk, and we are happy to support you. So let's get back to the slides. Yeah, as previously mentioned and already more or less showcased, the new Agile Hive issue context is available for all Jira issues in the right-hand sidebar of the issue detail view. It will be used to handle user input, as well as calculate certain fields that are required for specific Agile Hive or safe-related information. And currently, we are already using it for risk information and planned start end date for roadmap issues. Our planned use cases will be to include also objective information, just for the sake of consistency, so that your users at some point know, okay, objective is a safe component, and everything related to safe I can find in the Agile Hive section of my right-hand sidebar. So I go there for any if I have any need for information. Also, we want to include WSJF there, which makes a lot of sense, since when providing WSJF information, you need to run a lot of calculations, and yeah, this is only possible by using that context. The risks, I already showcased them, work basically that you can provide 4 inputs: impact probability, residual impact, and residual probability. And then Agile Hive will provide with the exposure that's being calculated. Here you can see the full table of all impact inputs, probability inputs, and the resulting exposures in the table. This will also be reflected in the documentation. At the moment, it is not possible for you as a customer to configure that table and to set custom statuses or custom inputs. But this was requested for Agile Hive Data Center quite a lot. So we have that on our roadmap. We have that on our requirements list. And we will get back to that at a later point. Probably one important detail for risk fields that I want to mention here in that probably more technical administrator round of people. For risks to work properly with Agile Hive, there may only be exactly one custom field with the same name for each of the risk fields. As soon as you have like a second field named impact in your Jira site, the Agile Hive context might not know anymore which of the custom fields to pull, which information to include, because we can only reference those fields by name, not by ID or something like that. So it's quite some requirements from Agile Hive side here, but I think they will be well documented, and you can work your way around that. Then let's take a look at our short-term roadmap. And as you can see, almost everything of it is currently already in doing, which is great for the goal that we set for ourselves. So on the feature side, we are currently working on WSJF, which is making very good progress. I think we can release that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I would say. Then JQL filters for roadmap and team boards was also a feature requested quite often. The JQL filters for roadmaps are basically already finished, and I think we will release them independently of the team board filters because they are a bit more complex due to the fact that you can include more than one project in a team board. And there's a lot of expanding and collapsing going on. And we need to consider that when implementing the JQL filtering. But for roadmaps, I think the feature will be available in the next few days, probably next week. Milestones is the only thing that we haven't started working on yet. But since it's not that big of an epic, I think we will also be able to provide that before end of November. And then, big news, we started implementing the reports, at least the front end part. So we are the design drafts that Cindy included in her session. We are currently working on implementing all of the widgets and the graphs and tables and overviews and stuff to have the foundation set. And in the next step, as soon as, as the milestones are finished and we have all the database ready for our reports, we will then do the backend part and just pull in the data from the Jira side. When it comes to migration path from data center or server to cloud, we are also currently working on that. And we are making very good progress with providing a first version of that migration path that includes the migration of Agile Hive hierarchy links. So as you probably know, in Agile Hive data center and server, issue hierarchy is being implemented by a default Jira issue link type. But in the cloud, that wasn't a feasible option for us. So we needed to implement our own hierarchy mechanism. And now we need to migrate and do a mapping of the data center issue link type to our new cloud issue link mechanism. And we're making good progress with that. We are currently running some internal beta tests with that. And we also have some customers who want to do a sandbox migration with us. Thanks for that at that point. And I think we can start with that in the next few weeks. And we hope to have a first version of that migration path ready by the end of December. I just thought I had a slide for that as well. So you can see technical concept is done. An alpha version for internal tests is already done. We are currently running the internal tests with some of our demo sites. And next step would be to provide a better migration path to select customers, then perform some sandbox migrations and to prepare for a production migration path release version 1.0. So if you are interested in staying in the loop here, you can subscribe or visit the site mentioned here. I can also put a quick link in the chat for you. So this would be the page that we update regularly as soon as we make any progress. And if you have any questions on that, or if you need support with migration, please also feel free to reach out via our help desk. And that's it for today, I would say. The next video will be on December 7th. And now it's time. Oh, we don't have a Q&A slide. Huh. Yeah, so now it's time for Q&A, I guess. Let's see if there's anything from your side that you want to discuss.